Hi, everybody. Welcome back. My name is Dean, and we're all here. You're here. We're here. Everybody's here. Nice day today, too. Fall. You get the colorful trees. They're all blending together. Some greens. You got your yellows. You got your reds. You got your oranges. You got all kinds of different colors right now. It's a beautiful time of the year. It's a wonderful time of year. Not only is it a great time of year to be outside, and the weather's temperate. We're here in September. It's also hockey season's just around the corner. We got Major League Baseball playoffs coming up. We're going to talk to Casey Stern about that tomorrow. He's a great guy. He's covered the MLB for fucking TBS and MLB forever. So I've got that going on. And then we got some NFL football that's happening, and the Bills are a wagon, if you will. So I'm excited about that. This is just a fucking perfect time of year for a guy like me who loves the sports, loves to be outside, loves shit-eating season, because it's also that as well. Not only is it the fall season, it is the shit-eating season. So we're going to talk about hockey today because out in Edmonton, some people are a little upset over the Avalanche and Nate McKinnon deciding to one-up Connor McDavid. We're going to talk about all three big retirements in the NHL yesterday. Keith Yandel, Zdeno Chara, PK Subban. I'll call it quits. PK actually interests me. And how does that affect the Leafs? Because that's what everybody's going to ask today. How does that affect the Leafs? Well, it actually
PK's young. He's only 33.
Couldn't believe he pulled the trigger. So we're going to talk about that. Canada has a Jamie Salé/Theo Fleury problem, and I'm pretty sure we're helping end it, which is great news. And we have some major breaking news from the Trudeau must go hashtag trend that was totally bullshit and all the way fake. Anyway, welcome to the program. Everyone's here today. We got Lachlan Cross, 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton, at Lachlan Cross on Twitter. And, of course, my friend Ryan Lindley. Linz, we just call him Linz. Anybody ever the Linz report, by the way, is go get it. It's fucking great. It's like a little 9-10 minute nugget where you can get some great news, have some laughs.
Sometimes you just have like a quick drive, right? And you don't have time for a 3-hour fucking Rogan podcast.
4.5, or like a 3-hour Blundell podcast with Tom Marazzo.
Well, we've been doing a better job.
An hour and a half. We're trying to keep these things light too.
We're trying to be a little bit tighter, tight and bright.
Tighten it up, boys. Guys. You got to tighten it up a little more.
Tighten that shit up, boys. Linz, real quick. Anybody call you Linz before we did? Yes, I'm guessing. Some people did. No. What?
No.
Really?
It was never Linz. It was always just Lindley. It was never the shortened version. But now everybody calls me Linz because of the show.
I see people like tweeting you, Linz. What's up, Linz? Yeah,
that's just from us.
That's just from the show.
Does it bother you?
No, I don't care.
Well, I don't know.
What about
cocksucker?
Is that one getting to you?
No, that one's new.
What about dirty, greasy Felcher?
Yeah.
No.
Yeah, that one stings a little, just a little though, but not like doesn't actually like keep me up at night.
What about fancy fuckwad?
That one I get because of the food.
Yeah, I know you are fancy. You are very fancy.
You fancy fuck.
Are there any names though that, like, I know I call you Linz before we get to Nathan McKinnon outdueling Connor McDavid on a sheet of paper, which is fucking great. We're gonna go to Edmonton for that. Locke's all upset about it this morning. We had a long talk. He says, "This is fucking bullshit." I'm like, anyway,
I did say that.
Are there? Yeah, I'm making that up too. Are there names that you don't like to be called other than cocksucker, Lachlan, or greasy Felcher? Like, are there names where you're like, because some people have those names. Like, I'm cool. You can call me anything. I've been called all of it, specifically today. But any names that you're like, no, that just doesn't wash.
You know what always bugged me was, "Hey, big guy, what's up, big guy?" Even when I was a really big guy, and I was or small guy. When people are like, "Hey, small guy," and it's like, "Wow, you're so fucking funny." Because I'm 600. I was at the time like 600 pounds almost.
Yeah,
and you called me.
That's how much a Civic weighs.
I know, right? I had more room in the trunk. But yeah, no, that was the only like those ironic when people are trying to be ironically funny, and they're just not funny.
Cool. Yeah, especially if you don't know them. Like you know those guys that you don't know that well, and they walk in the room, and you're like, "Hi, my name's Ryan," and the guy's like, "Hey, big fella," and you're like, "Okay, fuck, dude, you don't have the license to do that today. You really don't. We just."
I think about guys like Jimmy. Jimmy probably gets that a lot. I saw it. Yeah. I saw like big guy and stuff like that, and it's people that he doesn't know.
He doesn't mind the names. What drives Jimmy crazy is he gets really angry is if you pat him on the head. He gets a lot of, because he's a little person. He's only 4 feet tall. So people, instinctively, I don't know why, they reach over and touch his head. It's odd. And
really?
And I've seen it
like an orb,
like numerous times. And he goes beet red and gets angry. If it's a girl, maybe he'll let it go. But people like go, oh, how? And they pat him. And it's odd. It's weird.
It is.
He's like, I'm not a dog.
Yeah,
don't I'm a little person.
But he's got. He literally has 200 nicknames. I think we sent them to you.
Yeah, I have them because they're going into the Edmonton special that we're putting together.
The Lynn's Report Edmonton edition. Are you doing?
Yeah.
We did the list we sent you include his latest?
Yes, it does.
The Tabor Tugger.
Tabor Tugger. Yeah, that was the last one, so it's perfect. It's so funny. I was talking to Scotty,
everyone,
and he likes to masturbate 5 times a day. So therefore, the Tabor Tugger. Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt you, Ryan. Go ahead.
No. I was talking to Scotty Trades yesterday in the green room before the show, and he's down.
Do you like each other in that conversation?
Oh, yeah,
or okay, just making sure.
Yeah, a little tense yesterday.
A little different when the cameras are on. That's all.
It's a little hot when you were telling him about his business. I was like, oh my God, this guy is telling him about his business.
I am telling him that he is basically given up every career option he had to join a Ponzi scheme.
Yeah, Tupperware. Somebody said yesterday, buy the dip. I said, now you can buy a container to store the dip in. Good for you.
It's worth more. Anyway, sorry, go ahead.
No, what I was saying was he's down in Alberta as well, but he's like half an hour from Tabor, he told me.
Yeah.
Like he's down in corn country. So I was learning a little more about the landscape down there from a guy like Scotty rather than a guy like Jimmy.
Well,
I got to visit that place, man. It sounds great.
It's what was the name of the town in Footloose? It's basically Footloose. They made national news when in 2017, when the Liberal government was legalizing marijuana, they were actually trying to make it illegal in Tabor to continue. Seriously,
living in the 60s, they're like, fuck, don't let them in the bubble.
There is
no black people either.
Oh, dude, you're not far off.
I know.
You can get a ticket from the police, the Tabor police, for spitting or swearing at it used to be 9 o'clock. They ring the horn at the fire hall. They have an alarm. In smaller towns, you'll see this a lot of times.
You can't spit
if there's a fire, no, it's even better. This is no joke. You can look this up. I think it used to be 9. I think it's 10 o'clock now or 11 o'clock. Mm-hmm. They have a curfew for anyone under the age of 18. You cannot be outside past 10 o'clock. And
in Tabor, Alberta?
Yes.
In 2022?
Yes.
Holy shit.
They have 16 churches, I think is what, 12, 14 or 16. I can't remember the number.
I want to go there.
And there's there's like 3,000 people.
Come on.
It's so bad. None of this, somebody must be listening from Tabor that can verify some of this stuff. And Jimmy is like, I don't know why you guys make fun of it. One of the funniest.
It's because everybody under the age of 18 has to be in their house by 10 o'clock at night or you get fucking arrested.
We have
that's
bits
fucking unbelievable
where we've called Tabor just to talk to people, and we've been running them for years because they're so bizarre. It's like another planet. And his family
says the town in Footloose was called Beaumont, by the way. I've never
Beaumont.
seen the movie
Okay,
Footloose.
it's a Beaumont. It literally is.
Okay.
Like it's and I'm not making any of this stuff up. I might have some of the times wrong. It might be 10 now that they ring the buzzer, and it used to be a 9.
So Tabor's a town of about 4,000 or 5,000 people, if I'm not mistaken. It's a very small town, and it's in
less
southern
than 10.
Alberta. It's about half hour, 45 minutes, I believe, east of Lethbridge.
Yeah.
And it's close to the border. I actually played volleyball there when I was in high school. We won provincials when I was there. Great story. I was probably the best player in the world at that time. Didn't know if anybody wanted to know, but I was one of the best players in the world.
Let me just write that down.
Well, for sure in southern Alberta at that time. For sure at that school that day. But long story short,
modest.
Not very, very modest. I never brag about how awesome I am, and I am awesome. But to your point, Lachlan, It was a very sanitized town. It was incredibly clean. People there looked like they were fucking coming out of some kind of zombie apocalypse every time. My dad said it to me. I was like 19, 18. And he's like, everybody here's fucking weird, eh? I'm like, totally.
Yeah. They're wildly religious.
Wives.
They had,
seriously.
they decided they were going to be progressive. This was a couple years ago. I think it was a year before COVID. So it was either 2019 or 2018. And they had a gay parade. They were going to have a pride parade in Tabor.
Yeah.
And they announced it. It was during Pride Month, and it was in coordination with other cities. And it was the first time in the history that they were going to allow this to happen. Allow it to happen in Tabor. The day before the parade, they hung up flags, rainbow flags in Centennial Park. You can't even make this up. Somebody burnt the flags in the middle of the park.
Oh my God.
Probably someone that really, really, really wants to hide the fact he would like nothing more than to have a stiff, hard one fired up his backside. Seriously. That's what we're talking about. That's the kind of anger that exists.
Generally speaking, that's where it stems from.
Yes. Generally speaking, the guy who burned all the pride flags in Tabor, Alberta, because he didn't like the gays, probably is one. And he's really struggling with it because his Lord and Savior is like
dreaming about cock.
Yeah, loves it. Wants all of it. Wants to just swim in a pool of wieners. That's that guy. He's probably, that's why these guys get so mad, right? When someone comes around. Like this guy asked me the other day, he said I was like, I come guzzle Trudeau's cock. And I'm like, after we kiss, the ham flies. I mean, who cares? What am I going to say to that? Like, and the guy's like, I can't believe you. Someone was like, I can't believe you joked around about same-sex relations.
What do you say? What do you say about that? Joking. How do you respond?
Well, what am I going to say? I would never. I mean, I'm just a straight guy. That's all I am. But like I was having fun with him. And this guy went on like a 40-tweet tirade. You're disgusting. You're a sick fuck. It's supposed to be Adam and Eve, not Adam and Steve. I'm just watching these tweets and watching this guy get triggered. I'm like, yeah, but he's really gentle when we kiss. He's like, can we
not address the issue of a guy in 2022 thinking he's going to get under your skin by calling you a cum guzzler?
Yeah, like have they been on our Twitter?
I love it. It's like,
that's mild.
There's so many people that have asked me over the past couple days too. Do you get angry with this stuff? Do you get upset? I'm like, not at all. I fucking dig it. I mean, I started on purpose. It's like what I love to do. I'm that guy that everybody goes, whatever you do not make a mistake in front of that man. Whatever you do, because he will exploit it for his own needs.
It's not even a mistake. Just stay away. Like I've said this to people before that get into fights online or whatever. There's certain people you just stay away from, right? You're not going to win that battle, right?
No,
and it's
a lot of people are asking that this morning too, dude. A lot of people are saying that this morning. We're going to get to some hockey stuff in a second, but might as well pivot into it because we're talking about it already. This Jamie Salé thing and Theo Fleury thing, Canada has had a major for the past, I don't know how long, but 2 years. Major. Canada has a major Jamie Salé, Theo Fleury problem. To the point where over the last 24 hours, I haven't seen anything like this before. Did we start it? Yeah. And am I happy that we did? Fucking rights I am. Because these two yahoos have been running around like Cracker Jacks for the past I don't know how long, and they are coming undone. You remember that tweet yesterday, right? And I have no problem getting after it with them and having fun with it too. Like I've got no problem. I'm not mad at Jamie. I'm not going to sit here and shit post anybody. I'm not mad at anybody. I'm fucking just doing me. But someone sent me this tweet today, and they're like, Dean, I love how you teabag little Theo Fleury intellectually. Keep pumping. He has grown from a locker room nuisance to a public annoyance. And I'm like, fuck right. I don't know if you guys are following this stuff. All I've been doing is having fun with it, right? Same way that guy was like, you call me a cum guzzler, Trudeau's cum guzzler. I'm like, yeah, we like to let it go. We like to get it on, big deal. It's the same thing here. And yesterday we've all seen the tweet from Jamie Salé, right? Everybody's seen it, where she thought the Trudeau tweet was real, and she's like, "You're a fucking jerk. I can't believe you're doing this to the country. I hate you. Is a new world order that's coming, and you're in trouble," and all the other shit. She's been unmasked, like both of them over the past 24 hours. They have fucking come unglued, and a lot of people are really happy about it, right? Like a lot of people are super stoked. I'm kind of worried, to be honest with you. Like, I'm actually worried for Jamie Salé, to the point where I wrote a really nice letter to her, and I published it as an open letter to Jamie Salé on the front page of the site, because this is not fucking healthy for her. Like, it's not, right? And I'm not angry at her. Like, do you remember yesterday she was like, block Blundell? Remember that during the show? Yeah. Right in the middle of the show, she was like, "Here it is. Here's the tweet."
I retweeted that.
Watching.
I tried to do that. Yeah, tried to get it going.
Yeah, it didn't go anywhere, which is unfortunate. But because we had pointed out that she is one of the biggest drivers of disinformation on purpose, and I think she does it for money. I don't know why, but I'm pretty sure we're trying to uncover some stuff. I'm pretty sure she does it for money. Same with Theo. I think Theo gets way more money than she does.
How do you monetize that?
I'll get to that in just a second. It's kind of fascinating, though, because this is the Alberta pride, right? Like for her, is that, between her and Theo, they feel like they've got a real community there, so that's where they stay. So
can I say something quick about that? Please. Just in that vein, Grant actually commented this morning. Because he was, for some reason, I was telling you when I was coming in, we chatted on the phone. Yeah. For some reason, we talked about something that got Grant on Twitter to go to Jamie Salé's Twitter account and to Theo Fleury's Twitter, and he's like, "Oh my God, this is crazy!" And he. I swear to God, said out loud, he went, "This is so sad, man. I was such a fan of Theo's when I was a kid." Like, he goes, he was a hero of mine. And I was like, "Really?" He goes, "Yeah, man, I'm dead serious. I'm not lying to you. This is so hard to watch."
Yeah. It is.
I didn't think of it from that perspective, because I hated the Flames. So, right? So I was never a big Flames fan, but
well, it's tough for a lot of people. Yeah, go ahead, Lynn. Sorry.
No, I was just going to say, you look at, isn't it weird that in like especially this year, how horrible hockey has just taken a beating when it comes to the people that represent it, the organization itself. Like a lot of people that
I don't know if Theo was part of that, what you're talking about, but
no, but I
so
mean,
from
in general, from like people that grew up in Canada as like hockey fans since you were, you can remember. And then all of a sudden, as you're an adult, you're watching it just crumble. All those thoughts you had about the organization and how awesome it really was. And you finding out it really wasn't that great. And
I think
a lot of bullshit happened behind the scenes that we didn't know about while they were putting the show on. And it's sad. Like it's an institution that we had, a wrong view of, I guess. I don't know.
Well, I don't know if it's a wrong view. It's a realization that these are human beings.
Yeah.
And they're fallible. They're not gods. They're not somebody that should be put up on pedestals. Just like they play hockey really well because they dedicated a lot of time and energy to playing and doing one thing. Mm-hmm. And they sacrificed things like schoolwork in a lot of cases to do it.
Mm-hmm.
Very evident.
And you know what? And they get to a certain position, and then they're enabled by an organization that allows them and makes them think that they're better than everybody, and that they can take certain advantages in society because of their stature and their ability on the ice. And it's all bullshit. And the fact that we continue to put these hockey players and sports figures and royalty up on pedestals and somehow think that they're better than everybody else. And then we're all like, "Oh, hold on. Oh, you're just a dick." Right? Like,
yeah,
it bothers me.
Some of them can hold that position well. Like I'm not saying this is every single, legacy.
Once with humanity and humility.
Yeah. Well, and here's the rub.
They do good. They just they use that, like we always say, they use that privilege that they had and
to do good
paid
things
it forward, right? So and then you have people like Theo and Jamie right now that are just
giving it away. And that's really the sad part, right? Like, Jamie Salé used to be Canada's darlings. Theo Fleury was such a great story, a comeback story, but a guy that, the system absolutely abused. And I've watched them over the past 2 years. And it's funny because no one said anything about Jamie. Theo was easy, right?
Yeah.
But there was this, like, barrier to making fun of what they did and how they carried on and talking about pedophile tracking 5G devices and, lying about how he just got off. You remember that? It was like 8 months ago. He's like, I just got off the phone with Vladimir Putin. Just lies. Like, and it's the lies that you cannot keep up with, right? Lies are unsustainable. That's not real. That's why they're called lies. That's why people fucking get into trouble, is because when they keep lying, and Jamie and Theo have done nothing but lie on behalf of other people that want them to lie and have legitimately borrowed these poor people's reputations, taken advantage of their brains, and appealed to whatever it is important to Jamie Salé and Theo Fleury. And they have led them down this path where they have literally ruined their lives. Ruined everything. Jamie Salé's mom, nurse. They don't talk. I don't know to what extent. Her family, Craig Simpson, her husband, former Oiler legend. They haven't talked in 2 years. Yeah, they're estranged. She's got nothing. She's got nobody. Theo Fleury, same thing. To the point where I take up so much fucking space in their brains by telling them that they're wrong and they need to get help, and I'm here to help them. I'm happy to have Jamie on. I'm happy to have Theo on. I'm happy to have both of them on and have a respectful conversation. But they refuse to do it, and they continue to shoot themselves.
They might not. They
won't. I'm telling you right now, there is absolutely no way. I'm watching people tweet about this stuff today, and there's some big names that are calling her out now. A lot of people left her alone. A lot of people left him alone. And now people are like, you two need fucking major help. And it is the genesis of this tweet where she retweeted, still hasn't taken this down, a fake tweet from Justin Trudeau. And it's not his tweet. He didn't do it. The Prime Minister's office has even fucking weighed in on this. They've said this is not real, where she charges him with treason, crimes against humanity based on a tweet that is so obviously fucking fake, which is unbelievable. Like 14,000 people liked her tweet. There are that many people out there. And not only is the tweet fake, and not only is she not taking this fake tweet down, she's getting support from fucking Theo Fleury today to not take it down, to leave it up. And he's losing his mind at us to the point where he can't fucking think straight. This guy has been all over us for the past couple of days, and they're all getting dragged. It's all of them getting dragged. This is what Theo put out today. This is what he put out today.
Another one just came in too, by the way.
Oh yeah, can you throw it up on the screen?
It down, yeah.
That means he's watching the show. Hi, Theo. Nice to see you. Happy to have you on the show anytime you want. Happy to help you. Happy to get you de-radicalization training. Happy to help stream you into a psychiatric facility so that you and Jamie can get some help. You need help. This isn't real. This is not real life. He's like, you're pathetic. You're playing with the big boys now, sending memes to show us exactly what an idiot you truly are. You're a parody of your own self. It's truly ironical. Now, here's the thing. Ironical is not a word either.
Are you sure?
It's not.
I've listen, any word I have used on my radio program, I'm pretty sure is a word.
That's brand new. I haven't even seen that yet. That's
ironical, I guess. Ironical.
I have used ironical.
Yeah, it is. It's just it's used in the wrong sense here. It's just used in the wrong sense here. That's all.
Yeah, it is. As most of the things
it would just be ironic.
I don't even know what he's talking about. I haven't made a fucking meme in my life. None of us have. Not
it's
one
probably
of us.
The company account. One of the guys from the socials team did something. One of the guys in the socials team probably sent something out. That's all.
Can I
well, hang on. I'm not done. Hang on. Let me finish. Okay. This is the latest. Theo has tweeted us dozens of times over the past 24 hours. He is unglued. So we put out a promo yesterday where we were talking about it, laughing at how ridiculous it is that Jamie Salé is standing by what is clearly a fake tweet so she can call the Prime Minister treasonous. Which
in Jamie's defense, I thought that tweet was real as well. I still thought it was real when we were talking about it yesterday until you said it was fake. And then I was like...
So we showed you the date on it was 1864. Yeah, that's a tough one. So...
I actually, it really did fool me. I thought it was real, and I was angry.
Yeah, I know you were. This is well. Imagine how pissed Jamie is because she's letting it all hang out there and getting dragged by everybody, former reporters, coaches, friends, family. Everybody is like, "Go get some help, Jamie." So we put out the promo from it yesterday. I think saying it wasn't a great day for Jamie Salé and Theo Fleury on Twitter yesterday is an understatement of the year. And we tagged them both. Like, we put their Twitter handles in this. They've both blocked me, as you can see. And what does Theo do? This fucking blew my mind. He sends a tweet. He's like, "Hey, coward, if you're going to use our names, at least have the balls to tag us in your post." If you look underneath it, not only did we tag him once, we tagged him twice.
Yeah.
These are not the actions or the tweets of normal people.
I found out why he was mad and why he sent the last one, by the way.
Why is that? Why is he mad? Oh, because of this. Yeah. We loved you on Battle of the Blades. And he says, "You're pathetic. You're playing with the big boys now, sending memes. Shows us exactly what an idiot you truly are. You're a parody of your own self. It's truly ironical." See, and here's the thing. I want them to be well. I really do. They're both off the rocker. I want them to be. I do. No, I do.
Dean, I love you. I love you, but I know how little you care about their mental health and stability in the world that we live in.
No, I'm serious. I've been in dark places before. Have I ever lived a completely different reality to every single person around me? No.
I do.
However, I want them to be well. That's why I wrote the letter to Jamie Salé, the open letter to Jamie Salé. Mm. I really do. I feel terrible. And we have so many Jamie Salés out there that bought into this stuff, that bought into the fuck Trudeau, which is what happened here. It was the Trudeau must go shit, which has now been debunked. Not only been debunked by millions of people, AP put out this report today. This is just an AP story. AP's assessment, it's false. Trudeau didn't post the tweet. There's no record of the post. Spokesperson for the Prime Minister's office also confirmed to the Associated Press the image of the tweet was fabricated. Facts. Twitter users who oppose Trudeau's leadership have been posting under the hashtag Trudeau must go in recent days. Some have also shared fabricated screenshots of what appeared to be a tweet from the Canadian Prime Minister's office. One Twitter sharing an image had more than 12,000 likes as of Tuesday. Nice try, Justin Trudeau. Your lies and manipulation aren't working anymore. Guess who that was from? Jamie Salé. Yeah. And they won't mention it here because she is lost. She's fucking lost. Theo has lost.
There's a lot of casualties, right? In the last couple years. And unfortunately, I used to know a couple of people that ran in her circle. Yeah. I was quickly ostracized from that group. This was before COVID.
It was your lack of ability to do
what? You're not talented. You're not good.
We don't need to get into why Locke's not going to the Salé dinner parties.
First of all, that's a lie. Imagine. That's exactly what we need before we move on. Why did you get kicked out of the Jamie Salé friend circle years ago? What did you do?
And it was, I would have been outside guy looking in anyway. And again, without getting any details.
No, I want details.
I will just say
no. Do this again.
No. I can do this. I do this all the time. I do this all the time.
Spenny last week. You're not doing this again where you're like, I'm going to tell the story and not tell the story. Tell the story. What's the story?
You'll get it out of me in 2 weeks.
Well, no, I won't. And here's the thing. We've been banging away at this Jamie Salé drum for a couple of days now. It's the first you've said it. It's the first you said that you used to be friends with her friend group.
No. I said I used to know some people that knew her.
That's why don't you not getting a call back about the life coaching?
Yeah,
because
what did you do?
I may have worked with them. Enough.
I get it now. Yeah. Someone who used to work with.
And it's not like I would have been, like I said, it's not like I would have been invited to a Jamie Salé. But I was just going to say, if I was still, and I don't need to be, nor do I miss this group, if I was still involved in that group, I'd be very curious to know how the friends, like that circle of people that I know were fairly close, like would go for lunch with Jamie kind of thing, right?
Yeah.
But I wonder, I actually think that she's been ostracized from that group too.
I know she has because I've received several notes from her friends over the past couple of days that I will not post that are concerned for her. I'm not going to give any details. Concern for her. I know her family is concerned for her. Like everybody, including the AP, us, lead stories, our friends out of Belgium weighed in on this. And they're like, she's way off. She's out. She fucking doesn't know what she's talking about.
You know what? Like, imagine if you had somebody that you knew that was involved in and this is comparable, right? Like if they were in a cult and they kind of got under the spell and dragged into something, and you couldn't do anything. Like imagine how helpless you would feel, right?
Well,
especially
and
something as
personal.
Well, no, it's just out there. Like it's out there for everybody to see.
Oh yeah, you mean the stuff that they're doing? Yeah, it's hard to imagine it. I mean, Theo hasn't spelt anything right over the past couple of days. He just out of nowhere just shit posts us, and it's fucking like embarrassing watching it. Like he's telling us to tag. Like this guy blocked me, and he's like, "Why don't you fucking tag me? You don't have the balls to tag me." I'm like, "You were tagged twice, by the way, and you've blocked my other account, which is at It's Dean Blundell." And when we ask him to unblock us so we can tag him and show him the stuff, he tells us to go fuck ourselves. Like, this is not a normal human being. This isn't someone who's center. This isn't someone who's got balance. This isn't someone who's got perspective. And here's the catch where it relates to the Trudeau must go stuff. Those two were two of the biggest vectors for bots, trolls, in that paid and coordinated Trudeau must go.
Can we talk about this yet?
I don't. Are we allowed to? No, I'm going to talk about it because I got a couple tweets. We put some research together. I'm going to read these to you. This is real neat. This is from @CYCore. I have had several exchanges with this person. The research is sound. I have other research from a friend of ours. I sent those to you. I put them in our DM group. Did you guys saw that? Yeah. Those numbers, right? Yeah.
That was wild.
And I can't release those numbers yet.
Yeah.
But I will. 117 accounts pushing the anti-Trudeau hashtags I've found. This is from @CYCore. Give them a follow. 93% had Elon Musk in their first 2 to 3 follows. 91% had posts praising Pierre Poilievre. 88% had Ben Shapiro with the first 2 to 3 follows. 81% pushed Russian propaganda regarding Trudeau. Fascinating. What else? Great question. Let's go to this slide. Sorry, wrong slide. 79% were problematic. Do you know what problematic means on Bot Sentinel? They're bots or trolls. It's paid. It's not real. It's not organic. 73% made positive comments towards Trump or Russia. 71% have had at least 50 of the same followed out of their first 100. 65% have less than 500 followers. It is impossible. And some of these followers had between 12 and 17,000 retweets. And it was all about Trudeau. It was nothing else. There was one account that had 4 tweets and had been active for 5 days, and it had 18,000 retweets. This is not normal. Not only is it not normal, it indicates what this is. 6% of accounts were considered normal. 6%. 6% of the accounts that took part in the Trudeau must go bullshit were considered normal or satisfactory on Bot Sentinel out of those 6%. 7 total accounts. 7. Only 1 had posted within the 6 months prior to this operation. The rest had been dormant up until this point. Almost all of those accounts were dormant. Who were the vectors? Great question. This might come as a shock. Brett Wilson, Jamie Salé, Theo Fleury, Rebel News, Ezra Levent, and anybody else associated with Rebel News. They are in the fucking center heart of this thing. They're the bullseye. They're the vectors of this stuff. They know more about this than everybody, which is why that fuck Ezra Levent is suing at least 5 different people, including academics and professors from the University of Calgary, to shut them up because they're telling these stories. They're putting this information out there. Do you know how many people have lawsuits against Ezra Levent about this stuff and defamation? Well over a dozen. And he hasn't said a word. Nothing. The silence behind this and who's in charge of this and how they literally manipulate and use people like Jamie Salé, 80% of those accounts that tweeted the Trudeau must go shit, 80% of them were fake, bots, trolls, paid, dormant. 80%. The ones that were real, those were really important. You know how important Jamie Salé and Theo Fleury and Brett Wilson and Sheila Gunn Reid and Rebel News are to that kind of paid and coordinated thing to give it this look of reality? Super fucking important. So Canada doesn't just have a disinformation problem. Let me just finish. Canada has literally a machine full of celebrities and pseudo celebrities that stand in front of all the bullshit, all of it, to make you feel uncomfortable on a daily and hourly basis, to ruin this country. And they need help. Like watching these two people, Theo and God love them. They're both Canadian Olympians. They're legendary icons in their own thing. They're lovely people. I've interviewed Theo several times. We've shared laughs and hugs.
Yeah,
I texted him talking about his all the shit that he's been through years and years ago, and how he dealt with abuse and the little warriors that
how
he put
brave
together.
was that?
Like fucking incredibly brave.
And he's done shows on our network. He's done shows on this. He was with Bonzi, and it was a total normal interview. Like it was all about like his past, but and it had nothing to do with any of this shit.
No, but it's this stuff. It's like this. It's like they finally
Theo
found a team
almost
that would
had Bonzi converted, eh? Like,
Did he really?
just about this close.
Yeah, we talked to him about that. Remember
driving the motor home to Calgary.
I didn't know he was going to Calgary. I thought he was.
No,
anyway.
I'm making a joke. Anyway,
so my question to you guys is, like, does this change anything for you? Like, as the last couple of days, like, I know that they tried to hurt Trudeau, tried to hurt Canada, all that other stuff. It's all bullshit. It's all fake. Has this changed anything for you guys? Like, has it kind of gone, okay, maybe it is what everybody says it is, all bullshit?
Us? I've always said it right from day one. I knew this right out of the gate. Like, I found one last night and I made a thread about it. That was fresh, and it was somebody that hadn't tweeted since July of 2021. It's on my Twitter. If you go to my Twitter, it's like one of the last things I tweeted. And all of a sudden, out of nowhere, it's fuck Justin Trudeau. He's a piece of shit. And then you go back in the timeline of this person, and they've never tweeted anything political in their life. And it looks like they're a young kid that had a Twitter account. They were all about like whatever hentai manga or whatever, like those
or something.
And it was like their account was probably sold on the dark web, which that's how this has happened. Like, you can buy Twitter handles in bulk. They will crack codes of dormant accounts, and you can buy them. And then you can set them up to do whatever the hell you want. And they already have followers. And this one had like 50 followers, which is perfect for this sort of an operation. And then it gains steam. So somebody with 50 followers getting, like you say, 17,000 retweets, it's unheard of.
It's unheard of.
It's impossible
unless it's
organically.
fake.
It's impossible.
Yep.
So I mean, again, we keep hanging our hat on the numbers, right? And for me, I keep going back and forth from the whole the conversation for me in my own head about this has been maybe a bit different, because I think there is cause for concern if Justin continues to be our leader, right? But I don't think he's leading us into anarchy, right? Like I just think he's a really bad leader, and I think we should find somebody better to run the country, and that's not PP, unfortunately. I wish somebody from the conservative side could jump in there, but I don't think we're on our way to becoming China. So if you
China, that's that, by the way, just so you know,
China, yeah,
with the alt-right tweets, it's China.
Yeah. Anyway,
China.
But I also wonder what the motivation is, and how somebody can go down that rabbit hole. I've had a couple of friends that have gone down that rabbit hole, and it's fascinating to watch, right? To see them get dragged into this that level of
sewage
of misinformation.
Dude, these two are getting
one thing what I'm trying to say is, it's one thing to dislike the leader. It's another. This is another level. This is different.
Yeah.
And the problem I have is that even when we talk about it, we get thrown into this cat. Like there was some guy that was going on about, I know what Dean is. He's this, and I'm like, you could not be more further from the truth about who favorite. Dean is.
You liberal.
You listen to this podcast or watched one of our micro contents, and you come up with all that, and all of it's wrong. Every point you made is wrong. And so I sit there and go, what happened? That's why I was curious about that friends group of hers. Like, where are they at? Like, is anybody sitting down with her going, hey, Jamie,
I don't know.
Like,
we would know if you would tell us what happened.
Yeah, if you would just contact that friend that you upset of hers for you don't want to talk about.
That's not happening.
Okay, just making sure.
Just so you know. That's one of those relationships that Locke will not repair. Anyway,
I agree with you. I agree with you. Though,
hang on. Let me just. Sorry. Go ahead.
So, is it money? Do they know? Do they know what they're doing? Is it premeditated, or are they actually like? Is it mental illness? I wonder.
It's co-option. It's co-opted. And I don't want to keep hanging the mental illness albatross on it because that's unfair to people with actual clinical problems. This is literally just uneducated people. This is just people that just fall into something. They don't like Justin Trudeau. And I agree with you. If you're like, and what you said is what scares me. What you just said. If we reelect Justin Trudeau, it's just going to get worse. Well, is this the way to solve it in a democratic nation? Is to just do this? No.
Well, here's the thing. Here's the question I would have for you guys. Right? If 80% of this shit, at the very least, is bullshit, which we know it is. Right? If it's paid. Are things as bad as everybody thinks they are? No. That's the thing. That's what we come back to when we talk about it. They're never as bad as everybody wants you to think they are. They want you to think it's bad because these fucking degenerates have painted themselves into this fucking crazy corner, and they're like caged rats now. That's why Theo's lashing out with poorly spelled tweets to us. That's why he's not looking at the tweet, begging us to tag him when we've tagged him twice, is because he's sitting there shaking, rage tweeting. That's why Jamie Salé didn't block me until yesterday. And when she did block me, she went on this weird tirade calling me disinformation Dean and block Blundell and all this other stuff, which I support. Block Blundell. I agree. Let's block. I've got no problem.
That's a better T-shirt. Disinformation Dean.
Disinformation Dean.
On the front, and then block Blundell on the back.
But it is.
I'd buy that.
When we decided to stop punching down, I set my attention. I would too. I'd fucking sweet sell.
I'd wear that every show.
We're gonna have to get into the merch store stuff because we got a decision to make about the Queen thing. We're not selling any of them because it was a bad idea. Anyway, I want to get to that in a minute. But
just because sales are bad doesn't make it a bad idea.
It's here.
There are no bad ideas.
That is actually the reason. So there's Jamie and Theo at Battle of the Blades. This is when Theo, I guess, thought wearing makeup was okay. I know he's spoken out against, grooming and conversion and all that other stuff. But whatever, good for him.
You're not helping.
But that's one of the things that went out. Tammy tweets, Jamie Salé was my next door neighbor growing up. Her stepmom, a registered nurse and such a wonderful human being, saved my mother's life when I was 11. I'm shocked and I'm disappointed by Jamie's statements. Not done there. This is from Danny James. He's like, Jamie Salé is the Ronda Rousey of Tanya Harding's. That's a good one.
That's a good one.
Asif Hossein. Asif in Toronto, once again, for your own health and to help contain her madness to select corners of the internet, I beg you not to engage with Jamie Salé's tweets. There's no coming back for someone that is that far gone online without her wanting to help.
Yeah. That's a really good statement. I wonder if we're just making this worse, right? They both seem to be doubling, and it's funny. This got brought up yesterday, and again, this maybe this is a better explanation, Linz, than hanging our hats on some form of mental illness. But it is a kind of form. Like Theo took a lot of hits to the head, right? Maybe there is something going on there, right? Where and I think we all know it's documented that he had some issues with substances through his career, not just booze, but some chemicals and
he
things
was
like
a coke and crackhead.
Was he crack too?
Yeah.
I knew it was
I
coke.
don't know about the crack for sure. Coke, yeah.
There's in his book he talks about doing blow off the back seats of the toilets before jumping on the ice, right? I think a lot of guys back in the day might have been doing a little blow before the games. Not a lot, but there was a handful of guys. And then Jamie too. I mean, when you skate on ice, for that long, and you're getting lifted, and maybe she got dropped a couple of times, right? Like no, I'm not trying to be funny.
No, I know, but I don't want to. I don't want
yesterday in the comments. Maybe she's got a little.
You know what? And to that point,
CTE?
like a lot of people are weaponizing I'm trying to be nice about it because did I find some of it funny? Yeah, for sure. But a lot of people are weaponizing CTE. A lot of people are weaponizing being dropped on their heads from figure skating, being hammered into the boards, like that tweet. You know, that gif of Theo going into the boards, completely missing the check and smashing his head into the boards like 30 years ago. That gif has been shared so many times. And, I haven't shared it for a reason because maybe that's part of the story. And I think that may have something to do with it. I think cognitive ability has something to do with it. No, me neither. I'm spitballing, if you will, which is speculating. Actually,
I like your other theory way better. It's his opposition to authority, just because of how authority figures treated him in developed stages of his life. Yeah, that makes way more sense
for sure. His situation's very different, and I wrote an article about it because Theo has a reason to not trust authority according to the sexual abuse he's gone through. I don't know if Jamie shares a similar background. Yeah, right?
Like that's
I don't know if. Yeah, we don't know. We don't know what goes into this. We just know this is a problem for them, right?
Yeah.
Like they're getting unmasked. The whole thing is getting dummied. Like the whole movement is ridiculous. It was all fake. Everybody fucking knows it. Sound like Trump. Everybody knows. Everybody knows it's fake. Everybody knows. It's no big deal.
They tell me, sir, anyway. Sir.
Yeah.
Tell me.
I had people coming up to me going, sir, you got to do something about this trend. You got to do something about Trudeau must go, which I do get a lot of that. But it's not my job. And you know whose job it is to fix those two? Them and the people closest to them.
Yep.
To intervene at this point, not to talk sense into them.
And a lot of
both
times
of these cats need a fucking major intervention. And I desperately, for themselves and their families, hope they get it. Sorry, Locke.
And a lot of times the people closest to somebody that is going through something are the ones that are the furthest away from the chance of helping, right? Because they've been close to it, they've been beat up by it, and they can't. They're damaged by it. So getting back in, a lot of people will cut ties that are directly associated with something like this. And then they can't even wrap their head around getting back in for their own mental health, right? You think if Jamie's stepmom isn't talking to her, right? What's the chance that friends of her from the past that might be able to, bend her ear, or somebody in Theo's life, if the mom's not talking to her? I mean, there's a good chance that maybe close friends from the past have given up too, right? And it's just COVID separated a lot of us too, right? I was guilty of that. We got into our own little routines here, and then all of a sudden I'm like, holy shit, I haven't talked to my mom in 6 months. What am I doing?
Yeah.
I think we all kind of went through that.
Yeah, Lynch, go ahead. Ryan Lindley, everybody.
Opinion? Yeah. Can I ask your opinion on something?
I love giving my opinion on everything.
Is it bad? Is it bad that I'm kind of excited to see where this goes now that they're taking away the travel restrictions? And that's the last bastion of restriction that the government is holding over anybody really when it comes to COVID.
Move the post, Lynn.
Did you see that yesterday?
I'm excited about this though. I'm excited to see where they're going to take this. Because now it's like I say that and I've said this all the way through. They're the people that steal the car, run it out of gas, steal another car, run it out of gas, steal another car. There's no more cars. The parking lot's empty now.
Well,
where are they going?
No one knows
something.
Is it going to be Queen Gate? Is it singing at the piano in London? Did that come at a perfect time now? We'll just jump on that and say he disrespected the monarchy, so he has to go. Trudeau must go because he sang on 2 days before the Queen's funeral. Where are they going to go? What's next?
Great question, because that was a big announcement that happened yesterday. It was kind of the news of the day, is that Canada won't require COVID-19 vaccine to enter the country September 30th. And looks like
Arrive can will be
baseball
optional.
Conspiracy theories.
Looks like some
the
of you
Jays
have
are getting close to the playoffs. They had to lift it.
that was my favorite. Like Jays are in the playoffs, they got to lift the COVID mandates. No big deal. But yeah, so it looks like some people are going to have to pivot to a new grievance in October, is what you're saying, because Canada's like, hey,
They'll
listen,
find
fuck.
one.
And here's
like
the great
TV,
part about that
new season every fall.
Yeah. Here's the great part about that is that, people were saying, on Twitter, they're like, all the anti-vaxxers are like, we won. Fuck you, Blundell. Fuck you. I'm like, you didn't win shit. Like, this was always going to happen. These things were never permanent. That's why I wasn't too scared. You're running around there, like, and it's still going on. People are like, these were supposed to be permanent if Trudeau. No, they were never supposed to be permanent. They were kind of come down when we got to the endemic phase and 80 to 90% of us got vaccinated. Guess what? 80 to 90% of us are vaccinated. Here we are in the endemic phase. If you haven't figured it out in the last 2.5 years from all the training wheels and all the fucking bullshit, then you're an idiot. Like, you wear a mask, get vaccinated, all that stuff. What's that?
And they admitted it was actually said out loud. And I don't have any reference points, or I don't have anything I can send you to fact check this. But it was said out loud that they actually held off certain levels of lifting restrictions because they didn't want the people that were protesting it to think they had an impact on it. So they actually prolonged a lot of this shit. That's the irony of it. They were so against. They were so against making them think that what they were doing had a positive impact that they held on to some of the restrictions just a little bit longer, even though they didn't need to, just to get away from a timeline that might give them some sort of sense that they actually had an impact.
Where'd you get that from?
Is that from the Trudeau must go hashtag?
It is a big dick move, and I would like it if they did that. Like yesterday when I was watching these people going, you lost, we won. I'm like, fuck, it'd be great if they just put the restrictions in for long weekends.
Yeah.
Like it wouldn't bug me. Like, just put them in for like the May long, like just May long weekend. No one's allowed to go anywhere. We're just going to be dicks because you guys are assholes.
Restrictions are still in place for rural areas in Canada. That's it.
Yeah, just outside of big cities. Every province except Alberta.
There you go again. Shitting on Alberta, and you wonder why we have a problem.
So I know, I'm just joking. I love Alberta. Beautiful people, and I mean that.
Where's that fucking Block Dean shirt again?
But this whole thing, like the dropping of restrictions in Canada, is a fucking great thing. I wrote a piece about it yesterday. It's time. Yeah. And I've said this hundreds of times on this show. After, like, in the last 6-7 months, I don't care if anybody's vaccinated anymore. Nobody does. Nobody cares. Nobody wants to talk to you about your status. Nobody wants to talk to you about masks. I'll wear a mask in places where I have to wear masks, like airports, and happy to. I'll bring out the bling. I got a nice blingy mask with stuff on it. I'm gonna bring it out, look like a cool guy, walk through the thing. I don't care if anybody makes fun of me. It's personal responsibility at this point. Like, if you seriously need any government agency to say, hey, watch out, there's still a bunch of shit running around in the atmosphere, especially in small places, do what you got to do. That's where I'm at. And I can tell anybody who isn't vaccinated, hey, fuck, dude, whatever you like. We've got people that work here that aren't vaccinated. Don't care. Never did. Just wanted to make sure that everybody was doing their part for their neighbors. And now that we're at a point where it's like, hey, fuck, it's here. No one's going anywhere. It's awesome. I'm glad that there are no cross-border mandates coming into Canada. They're going to drop them going into the United States in the next little bit as well. It's great for everybody. It's great for tourism, that come out? Great for business. Not yet, but it will, because they ping-pong this shit between the two countries, right? So it will. And Biden announced that the pandemic was over a couple days ago. He's like, yeah, pandemic's over. Everybody's like, what the fuck is
Look, no one's got masks.
But this is a good thing. And you're not going to see us advocate for mandates because we hated them too. We hated restrictions too. We hated wearing masks. We didn't want to go get vaccinated. We didn't want to do any of the things that a lot of you people decided you weren't going to do. But we did it because we knew that that was the order of the day. We knew that back then we didn't have vaccines, and if we wanted to keep people safe in that fucking number, and we've got 45,000 people dead in the past 2 years, 45,000 fucking people dead, we had to do what we had to do. So anyway, having said all that, we're all on the same page now, and a lot of people are going to have to go and pick a new grievance. I heard a bunch of them yesterday. One of my favorites was, we won't stop until this country observes the rule of God. And I'm like,
there we go.
Okie dokie.
There it is.
And there's another one. We're going to go until masks are banned in this country.
Banned.
Stop. Another one was like, we won't stop till we get Trudeau out of office. Well, guess what? You just got fucking unmasked, you bozos. Would 80% of nothing is going to help you? 80%, like a bunch of fake bots and trolls in different bot and troll farms across the country and across the world. Think they're going to fucking vote? No, none of those things are true. Dude, we're here. It's over. Theo Fleury is over. Jamie Salé is over. The movement as it sits is over. And
no more convoys.
No, there and if there is, fuck, who cares? I don't care anymore. Nobody does. The three of us, we get on with it. Sure, did we have some fun with it? Yes. But there's bigger things at stake here, like the fucking mental wellness of two Canadian icons that represent hundreds of thousands of people who've been duped, who've been tricked.
Not even that. There's a lot of people in. Everybody knows somebody. Everybody knows somebody. Yeah, some of them are in your family, right?
Mm-hmm.
There's a lot of people that are still swirling the toilet bowl of this whole
conspiracy
thing. It's fucking sad.
Toilet.
We still see people. Grant was telling me he drove by the ledge on Saturday. He goes, they're still out there honking and.
We still have them here in Toronto every weekend. Every weekend in Toronto. Yeah, Kareem is there every weekend. Just
she covers him. Like, why do you keep doing this? She's like, I don't know. It's like wrestling.
She loves it.
I don't know. It's like wrestling. Over to Edmonton real quick. As we stay in Alberta, big news this morning. Last night, Nate McKinnon, Colorado Avalanche forward, maybe one of the best players in the world. For sure he is now the highest paid player in the world. And it is really upsetting some people in Edmonton. Locke called me this morning. He's like, this is bullshit. Can't believe this is happening.
Mm-hmm.
No.
Oh, by the way, Mike Smith failed his physical too, by the way. Did you know that? Mike Smith failed his physical and they sent him home today.
Oh, shit.
Did you know that?
No.
Yeah.
I had no
Mike
idea.
Smith failed his physical. They're like, you got to go home.
Wow.
Did they give any details on why?
There you go. Nope. Not a word. Like, failed his physical. You got to go. Anyway, Nate McKinnon signs a big contract. Yeah. Yesterday, it's an 8-year contract. Sorry. That's another Theo tweet. Jamie Salé, Battle of the Blades. Never mind. Nate McKinnon signs 8-year contract with the Avalanche. He took less money a couple of years ago. If you remember, it was like, hey, you can take $6.5 million. That's all we're giving you. He's like, whatever. I just want to win. So he wins. And they're like, fuck, take all the money. So they gave him $12.6 million a year.
Wow.
100.8 mil.
$100.8 million.
Works out to he's the highest paid. He's the highest paid player in the NHL now.
Yeah,
and it's $100,000 more a year than the previous highest paid player in the NHL, Connor McDavid, the captain of the Edmonton Oilers. And we were speculating this morning that may have been done on purpose.
It sounds like it.
I did some digging, and it looks like it has been done on purpose.
Really?
There were rumors around there that Nate McKinnon was like, you know what, I don't care what you pay me as long as it's more than Connor McDavid. And I want you to look at Connor McDavid's contract. This is Connor McDavid's contract. This is for $12.5 thousand a year, $12.5 million a year. This is Nate McKinnon's contract. It's for $12.6 thousand a year. Exact same time, exact same term. Bottom right, $100.8 million for Nate McKinnon over an 8-year contract. How about 100 in total? So he literally said to his agent, this is what we're hearing. Great, good. I want $100,000 more a year than Connor McDavid. And they're like, whatever you like, man.
We'll
you
get
just
it.
Want us the cup this last year. That is the pettiest, awesomest power move in the history of sports I have ever heard. That's even funny. Usurps when Mitch Marner was like, you know what? I want $11 million a year. And they're like, no problem. And he goes, you know what? Make it $11.93 million a year because Doug Gilmour was my favorite player. And they're like, you got it. So that's what he got. I fucking laughed my ass off this morning when I saw that contract after I talked to you this morning when you told me about it. And I'm like, I got to dig into this. It's a true story. he went to his agent and said, I want $100,000 a year more
It's not an
than
accident.
Connor McDavid. It's fucking awesome.
Well, and he probably said, I just beat him.
Yeah.
I just won the cup. We took him out. You need to pay me more.
Yep.
And that kind of wire, these guys have that kind of wiring, and you see it in other industries all the time, right?
Oh yeah, dude.
I was curious. I was curious if anybody thought that it was. Yeah. I've seen it. I've heard about it.
So have I. I've done it.
I got a 40 share, bitches.
Yeah. I've done it. I've walked into my boss's office. I'm like, I'm hearing rumors that guy down there makes this much money. And he's like, it's true. And I said, well, let's correct that, shall we?
Well,
He's like, well, I'm not his boss. I'm like, no. Correct it on this side. Because if I've got a 40 share and he's got a 2 share, that is wholly unfair. So you better fix it. And he's like, we're on it. And the next day I came in and they just gave me this bathtub full of money. And I'm like, there you go. That's pretty good. It's like the same time I asked for 14 weeks vacation a year and a llama. And they're like, we're having a hard time finding a llama. And I'm like, okay, just give me 14 weeks vacation. They're like, well, we need someone to be on the air for at least, 20 of those. And I'm like, all right, 10.
I don't know what I can't. I'm at a loss for words. Like what kind of wiring that is. Like,
you got to be an asshole.
I can't be. I'm not that guy. It seems petty.
It is. And it's awesome. You can get angry all you want, but it's what power people do when they're in a position of power, where they'll dictate the terms of what's going on. Nate McKinnon just won the Stanley Cup, and he's like, you guys cheaped me out a couple years ago. Guess what I'm coming for? All of it. And here's what I want. I don't want to be the most highest paid guy in the NHL. I want to be $100,000 richer than Connor McDavid every year. And they're like, no problem.
Nazem Kadri, that's why he took the paycheck, because he knew that there wasn't going to be any money in the Avalanche coffers to pay him. So he was like, I need to get out of here. I need to take advantage of what I just did. I accomplished, and I need to get a payday.
Bet you Theo Fleury's looking at that payday going, wish I would have kept it together. And dude, there's been a spate of retirements. Like Zdeno Chara finally retired after 25 years in the league.
PK Subban won.
PK Subban, yeah.
Keith Yandel, that made sense. But
he hasn't been playing well, but he's only 33, right?
33 years old. And the dude just basically said, peace, I'm out. I'm done. I'm finished. He was a UFA. Apparently no one was knocking on his door. And if they were, they weren't going to give him what he wanted. And PK Subban just literally pieced out. And I fucking love how he did it too. I don't know if you saw it. He basically
liked his letter.
I never looked at myself or felt I was just a hockey player. I always looked at myself as a person who happened to play hockey. Having that perspective allowed me to enjoy every shift like it was my last, celebrate every goal, emotion, and play every game as if someone paid to watch me play and had never seen me play before. That was exactly it. Dude, I've loved watching PK Subban play, and I love the fact that he told the NHL to fuck off after 13 years because he's just a guy, right? There's so many people that hang on for dear life, and then when they get out of it, they're fucked.
Yeah.
Theo Fleury would be a great example of that. And he just said, you know what? I got 7 years. I've made, I want to say he made about $80 million, if I'm not mistaken. He's made about $80 million in over the course of his career. Highly paid. He's got a lot of money, but he's got other interests, right? Like he wants to do other shit. Mm-hmm. And I love that about the decision that he made. Zdeno Chara, another fucking great story.
Hats, I bet.
He loves hats. He's a big hat guy.
He's a hat guy.
He's also super
so jealous.
Super charity guy. He does a lot of work for charities and stuff.
Millions for hospitals in and around the Montreal region. But the Zdeno Chara retirement has a real pain to it for Leaf fans.
Well,
with his retirement,
hold on. I would just like to point out that this might be the first time a lot of Leaf fans hear about this. This is not something that the Center of the Universe Sports Network is going to be broadcasting or talking about. I think that this should have been the headline. The last player to lose a playoff series to the Toronto Maple Leafs
Breaking
is
news.
now retired. So now, not one fucking player out of the 798 players in the NHL has ever lost a playoff series to the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I think that should be the headline. We should be plastering that on every newspaper in the country. We should be doing panels on it.
Not wrong.
And that's not going to happen. It's pretty quiet in old fucking Toronto sports network land.
Oh, yeah, dude. That was when you told me that again, pre-planning the show. He phones me and we're shooting the shit. He's like, "Hey, Leaf fan, get this," and I'm like, "Yeah, it doesn't bother me. I think it's fucking hilarious. It's fucking hilarious. It is so funny. A guy who played in the league for 25 years, just retired, and when he was with his second team, that was the Ottawa Senators. That was the last time the Leafs had won a Stanley Cup playoff series. The last time.
Won a series.
Dude, and that guy, the last guy to lose to the Leafs in the playoffs, just retired at the age of, get this, not at the age of like 35, 36, 37. No, 46 years old.
Yeah.
And I believe he started playing in the NHL when he was 15. I was shocked when I was watching the Toronto Sports Network, the center of the Universe Sports Network, and they actually reported on the Game 7 losses. It was who's the guy that looks like he does kids parties on the weekends, hires himself out. Is it Craig Button? The guy looks like yeah. I know he's practicing juggling right now. Yes, you can. Look at him.
Craig Button? Yeah. He's an attractive man. Have you not seen him?
He's a handsome fellow for sure.
I have every time we see him on, he just like, what are you doing? Like, where's the big red nose, Craig? Come on. Just jump fully in.
Kids parties.
Anyway, they were reporting on the fact that the Leafs have to do better than lose in a Game 7. So every playoff series that they have managed to get themselves into, they have lost, but not just lost. They've lost in a Game 7. Isn't it 5?
5 straight.
5 straight playoff series. They've
never done before in the history of sports. Never.
No.
And they've lost every time. It is fantastic. The fact that that isn't reported on. If the Flames or the Canucks or the Jets or the Oilers had accomplished that, the fucking sports donkeys in Toronto would be all. You wouldn't be able to turn the TV on without them mentioning it.
No.
Yeah,
dude,
and they're pretty quiet about it.
Here's the thing, is that TSN and Sportsnet own the Toronto Maple Leafs. So, of course...
Oh, is that what it is?
Yes.
It doesn't seem obvious when we watch it, Dean. Thanks for pointing that out.
It's also a matter of, are you going to go do an interview with your local sports reporter? If they're they're doing is shitting on them.
See the pre and post game press conferences at the Leafs, because they only let like certain people in from their own organization, and it is literally like a 20-minute blowjob. Same with the Blue Jays. Like the Blue Jays, like they're owned by Rogers. Rogers is a media company as well, Sportsnet. So they own half the Maple Leafs, half of the Blue Jays, and half of the Raptors. Like TSN does, but TSN doesn't own, or Bell doesn't own any part of the actual Blue Jays, right? So they have no representation there. They don't even talk about the Blue Jays in some of their sports casts. It's like, fuck, they're heading into the playoffs. Like the war here of these two teams is incredible, but the way that it manifests itself in post-game shit is unbelievable. Like there is never a fucking hard question unless Steve Simmons is in the room, because he's a fucking absolute lunatic, and I actually kind of like him because he's fun.
I do too.
Well, I remember last time it was like headline front page news because he asked an off-colored question.
And everybody's like, "Oh, how dare you!"
Yeah, it's
he's an
embarrassing.
Asshole, totally. But
it's embarrassing. I mean,
sports,
I don't know.
Covering sports here.
Do they fight over who gets the balls in the shaft?
Just
you had the balls last week. I get the balls this time. Austin.
Hey,
you're such a great player. How many goals are you going to score this year?
speaking of Craig Button being the clown, this is the guy you're talking about, right? That's who you're talking about, Craig Button. That's him with a shiner. Remember that?
Oh, what happened there? I remember that.
He fell. He got hit with a pickleball racket or something like that. I don't know. Pickleball? It was a pickleball accident.
Playing John Kay.
But someone did a lot. This guy takes bullets, and I actually think he's pretty cool at his job. But this is one of my
I actually like Craig Button. You know what I like about Craig is that you know what, he could color his hair, or he could do something, or even just match the brows with it. Like, you know what I mean?
Like Invisalign, but he's like, forget it. I mean,
no. We're making fun of him. I fucking love the guy. Like that.
I do too. I'm not making fun of him, dude. You make fun of him. What not?
I just
You're the one that said he rents himself out on weekends.
I just said
you called him a clown, and we're going on the show like 5 minutes ago.
It's on tape.
Guy. He looks like a fucking you organize his kids' parties like a fucking clown on the weekend.
No, I said he practices for kids' parties.
Yeah, exactly.
There was a juggling comment.
And then we try to help you by going, to your point, yes, it kind of does. And then you're like, I like him. You guys are pricks. You did it to us. I do
like him.
He does it every time. Every fucking time.
You're a fuck. It's the best. I absolutely love it. Absolutely love it.
Anyway. Never sign a suicide pact with Lachlan Cross. I told you not to do it.
Yeah, while he's handing you rope.
Yeah. Why'd you do it?
I'm more of a Kool-Aid guy.
Yeah,
here, try this. It tastes.
I don't want to live anymore, Locke. Try this Kool-Aid. What happened to your friend, Locke? I don't know. I had nothing to do with it, though.
I don't know. I told him not to drink the Kool-Aid.
Oh, yeah, you're the fucking worst, dude. Honest to God. One of the worst human beings. Speaking of you being the worst, we need to stop selling the Queen shirts like immediately because
really?
We haven't sold.
Did we get it? Did we get any complaints?
No complaints. No. If you go to the merch store, you can get the I outlived the Queen shirt.
We're not telling people to buy them. They're just there in case you wanted to.
Well, we've
sold on the locker room page. We've sold 3 of them.
7 actually. You sold 7.
Oh, is it 7 now?
Yeah, I got the email update.
And the Dean Blundell site shop hasn't sold any.
Not one. No. Our listeners are like, that's harsh. I'm like,
yeah.
What happened to all my fans?
It's a different gear in Alberta.
Like 10 years ago, I would have sold about 40,000
Block Dean Blundell shirts.
Yeah, I'm gonna get that one. Block Blundell. No, but we got to stop selling these shirts because I don't think people like them. We sold one, and we went on a major tirade about these yesterday, saying if you want us to keep selling them, buy them. And not one person bought one.
Okay, hold on.
And
here's what we'll do.
I happen to think they're rude, to be honest with you. Like, that kills me to say they're a little harsh. I outlived
what happened, Lachlan?
Well, you shouldn't have allowed them to go
Dean's
up.
Mom called last night. Dean's mom called him last night. I know it.
Yeah.
Dean, you must take that shirt down. It's déclassé.
No, she didn't. She didn't call me. I want to say, she did. She did call me about the Hail Satan shirts. She was not happy with those. The Hail Satan
those up there. We left the Hail certain shirts up. One's got my head on it.
But Satan's not real, and it's a joke. That woman's real, and she's dead.
She passed away, and it is unfortunate. We lost Lizzie Berger, and it's she's somebody's grandmother, and she held a station in life that a lot of people thought was important and revered, and she will be missed, and she'll be even more missed because her son is a cock, and he's going to destroy the monarchy, and it's going to be fun to watch.
So maybe we switch it up. We make it King Charles shirts. We'll do something with his ears or something. I don't know. He's at least still alive. It's not beaten.
We could change it to I will probably outlive King Charles. And just have a picture of him with his big floppy ears.
Anyway, it was fun. It was fun while it lasted. Those Queen shirts.
Here's what I'll do, because we made the mistake of
Kendra Morley, harsh Queen. Hail Satan was amazing though.
Okay,
I like Kendra.
Here's the thing: Dean made the mistake of approving the shirts.
No, I didn't.
And allowing them on the webpage, which I understand why he did it, because he's a money hungry grubbing dick, and it was thinking that we would get on a trend and everyone would buy.
You know what you're doing? You know what you're doing? We went over this yesterday. You fucking commandeered the whole thing. And you were like, we're putting these shirts up. And before I could even respond, the shirts were up. Now you know what's happening?
We have no proof of
this
that.
This is what's happening. Mr. Godius is saying, "Oi, Dean, take the bloody shirts down now. Thank you." So now people are blaming me for a shirt that you absolutely commandeered the website for, put up without us knowing, and now you're blaming me like I should have fucking. And you know what? Here's the rub. Actually, you're probably right. I should have said something in the email before it went up. So you're kind of right. It is my fault. My name
you
is.
Tried to. We can't get a word in edgewise when it comes to those merch chats that we have. We can't talk about anything. No. He just takes over. He just takes over and tells us what we're doing.
As the director of merch, which does not make me responsible.
Good job giving him that fucking title.
Idea.
I know. Right to his head.
If we don't sell a shirt by the end of tomorrow, by the start of the podcast, okay, and we'll do a check. If we don't sell one, I'll take them down from both, unless, of course, they keep selling on the locker room page.
See, this is Stacy brings.
I'm writing this up a note. Queen shirts,
and this is the camp I'm in. The shirt is illogical, so I just can't. It is. It's I outlived the queen. So fucking what? Are 98-year-old people buying it? Okay, I guess. I don't know.
I might buy one.
You should before they come down.
Later today.
Yeah. You really should. But order me one too.
See? True colors
shining through. Yeah, I love the shirts. I got to be honest with you. I'm not lying. I think they're great shirts. I'm just thinking in terms of entrepreneurship, it's probably not a great idea because it's a very emotional hot button issue when you're like, hey guys, we got a new shirt coming out just a couple days after the world's longest serving monarch died and millions of people mourned her death. What kind of shirt is that, Dean? Oh, it's this really cool shirt. So I outlived the fucking queen.
It's one of those monarchy. It shouldn't be funny, but it is. Even somebody that would not generally laugh at something awful like that is probably laughing right now.
Oh, this isn't good. Now people are ordering it. Ashley, your wife, she's like, my friend needs one, and she's in Australia. I'll get one for her when she gets home.
We'll leave it up, Ashley.
Thank you for
making the decision.
No, we're not. Okay. Yeah, we're going to leave it up just so your wife can spend more money at the Shoplins.
Great.
Yeah, that's good. Yeah, we'll get it done.
That's how we become successful in this business, dear.
Yeah.
Good job.
Get your spouses to order our shit. That's a great idea. That's it for us. You guys got anything you want to pound out before we go? Or are you good?
No.
You want to get to?
Can we talk about Kanye West's private school tomorrow? Maybe
I'd love to. Yeah.
All right. I got some notes on that, and it's a good one.
Yeah.
That's a good topic.
All right.
I'm off to make some NyQuil chicken. You guys have a good day.
Enjoy it. I'm going to make some Benadryl pork tenderloin.
That's beautiful. I'm having Robitussin and Rumaki. Thank you.
Always trying to outdo us.
I had to be a little more douchey. That's all.
Have a good day, boy.
You should. See you guys. Lock and Cross 957 Cruise FM in Edmonton. At Ryan Lindley, the Linz Report. Download it. At Ryan Lindley on Twitter. Linz Report anywhere you get your podcast. Thanks, buddy. I'll talk to you soon.
See you tomorrow.
All right. There you go. That's it for us. I got to pee. That's literally why I did the podcast. I'm not even lying. I just got to pee. And I can. And we've had our fun. Have a great day. Really appreciate you being here, everybody. Thank you so much. And thank you very much to our friends at Easy Auto Financial for making this possible. If you're looking for financing for a vehicle and you're having a hard time finding it, our friends at Easy Auto Financial can help you out. No obligation. They get free financing for every single person they deal with. So it doesn't matter about your credit rating. If you struggle, no big deal. Doesn't matter. Great rates for people that have great credit. Also great rates for people that don't. It doesn't matter to them. They're ninjas and they do a great job. Go to easyautofinancial.ca today and check them out. Also, thanks to Ed's Fine Imports. His Gitch are on us. They can be on you too. Luxury boxer briefs, pouch in the front. You can't miss with these things. And the pouch at the front, that's the key. Keeps everything moving around there. Tons of stuff. You guys, you get stuff. So keep that stuff handy in its own little tree fort. Get your Gitch at edsfineimports.com. Use promo code GITCH3, the number 3, and you're going to get yourself a free pair of underwear when you order 3 or more. Massive online store, Ed's Fine Imports. It's clothing for men and boys, the whole store, all of it. You can order anything. You know your size. I'll send it to you. He's awesome. Canadian guy with Canadian-made underwear, that Gitch too. Make sure you get in on that action. Use promo code GITCH3 for your free pair of underwear. And last but not least, kivlaw.ca. We are powered by Southern Ontario's best defense attorneys. Not a bad idea. You probably have issues that you've dealt with in the past. You might need some help. You have to call my friend by emailing him, Rob Kivlikin, robert@kivlaw.ca. Again, robert@kivlaw.ca. If you're up against it and you put it off, or if you just found yourself in the middle of something, whether you did it or not, doesn't matter. You want to reserve your freedom and have the best guy in the province making sure he's taking care of you. His name's Rob Kivlikin, robert@kivlaw.ca. Send him an email today. Make sure you check him out. And he'll get back to you immediately. Have a great day, everybody. Don't forget to sign up for a newsletter at deanblundell.com. If you could do that, that would be great. And have a great day. Like a really good day. I know I will. See you tomorrow. Bye.